was never really good playing role of the puppet. Too busy being me to be concerned with perception of the public. Everyone is buzzing, but everybody ain't thinking about a budget. I want ownership in something. Niggas get their
All flavors.
Got that
horsepower, baby. It's a nice bigger valve. I use it myself.
Well. Back again, man. Jim CV, baby, with another video for the channel. And every time I turn around, man, it is Max B up and down the timeline. You know what I mean? Whether Jim's related or not. Definitely it's been an explosion in NYC and in hip hop ever since Max came home, right? But let's get into this, right? So we just got the clip. I'm just saying it for the first time today. Max B is doing promo for Pink Horsepower, which is Cameron's brand, right? And you see him chilling with Cam and Mase, right? Right now, we know that, there's a problem between, or a rift between the Dipset members, namely Jimmy, Cam, and Mase, right? Mase not Dipset, but, you know, the affiliation. And just like Cameron had a live a couple years ago speaking on it, Charlie is actually from, well, that's what he called him, right? Charlie, right? Charlie Wingate, aka Max B, but he called him Charlie in this live, and he stated that Max is from his block, right? Same place that him, Big L, so many others are from, you know. So he from his block, so they've known each other. And he stated that he didn't even know that Max rapped, and Max and Jim decided to continue a business relationship, which resulted in Max being signed to Jim Jones' Bird Gang, right? So that's where that started. That's the inception. So he been knew of and was aware of Max B, right? But he wasn't on Cam's radar as a rapper. So when they got into it, he didn't have anything to do with it, because that was Jim and Max's decision to venture into that while Cam was doing whatever he was doing at the time. So they've known each other, right? Mase and Cam been known each other. I think they played ball together, if I'm not mistaken, and that's how they met. But we knew that they rapped in Children of the Corn together. So there's relationships that are already there, right? Same way that Mano spoke out and said that, hey, Max used to record in Brooklyn before he met Jim. You know what I mean? That's how he was doing his music. So maybe that's why Cam didn't know that Max was a rapper at first, because he didn't know him as a rapper. He just knew him from his block. So now bring things up to speed. Yes, it seems as though it's doubling down. Ha, rub Jim face in it, right? Even though Jim hasn't reacted to any of these things, right? He just said that what he said when he was on the podcast with Mano, right? But at the end of the day, you can't control your friends, your allies, your family members. Small world, right? Every city is smaller than the rest of the world, of course, but it's really a small world. So y'all are gonna bump into each other, especially in a city like New York, right? And especially when y'all all know and are in the same industry and knowing some of the same people, is bound to happen. But Max is on his grind, right? He hasn't gotten a lick of sleep since this whole thing started. Jets game, reunited with French, in the studio with Dame Grease, just basically everywhere, out and about. Welcome home party, Davies attended, right? Like, see, it's just, he just on his pivot. And when I say how this fish grease, you know he working. You know he doing shows. You know he getting to bag. I mean, spending 16, 17 years away, you gotta want to get your bread, right? And of course, he said he was willing to bury that hatchet with Jim. So at this point, it's not even about Jim, right? But is it a troll? Is Cam being funny with this, or is he actually nah? Yo, that's still Charlie. I don't like how he said it before. I don't got nothing to do with what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? Just because they got a riff, it doesn't mean that other people can't have love for Max. But I wanted them to squash this, right? Same way Jim went squash things with Nas, squash things with Jay-Z, right? Went up there, signed Rock Nation. You see him all over Bleak Podcast, right? You see Cam, going and shouting Jay out, respecting Jay, like, yo, I understand certain things that I didn't get back then, right? Back then I felt like I had every right to diss him, to diss Jay and Nas, and now as I got older, not so much. It was just crazy. Like, so when you look at all of that, and everybody around Jim is maturing, everybody around these situations is like, man, listen, it's bigger than that, right? Because it's big. A man just gave back 75 years, right? He just gave back a slate of football numbers, right? He coming home clean slate, right? This been over 20 years. And the same energy where Jim said, listen, Max book right now, situations, I ain't had nothing to do with the situation that landed him in jail, this, that, and the third, but I'm not going to kick a man while he down. But when he come home, I might start bombing on his ass again. And this was years ago when he did this interview. And I think he did that with Ebro or somebody else. But at the end of the day, right, Jim's 50, like on the nose, 49, turning 50, if not already 50, and Max is in his 40s, bro. Like, if not 50 himself. So at the end of the day, right? No, let bygones be bygones. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, Max did say some disrespectful things, but I don't think that that's supposed to make everybody else say, oh, I'm not dealing with him, especially if you're not dealing with Jim right now. So at the end of the day, right, everybody want to complain, right? New York hip hop fell off. What's going on with New York, right? The young cats and this, that, and the third, they not doing it right and all of these different things, right? And then you got your elder statesmen, your Jay-Z's, your Nas's, your Jada Kisses, all of these gentlemen, right? These elder statesmen, these legacy acts, their business side, right? Jada Kiss coffee brand / juice bar, Styles P juice bar, Jay-Z billionaire, Nas probably on his way there, right? Before Diddy went in, Diddy was billionaire status, if not close to it. If even with the Diageo follow, he still was at least a $300 million man. So at the end of the day, right, and who knows where he's at now, but he might come home and still be up, right? Like, so at the end of the day, a lot of the older guys are really into the business and making, right? So when Jim just dropping this new project, right, and French, of course, Max is coming with a mac and cheese. You gotta know that, right? But at some point, yo, make this history. Put all the New York legacy acts on stage, right? Especially the Harlem Dipset, the Mase with the Harlem World, the Williams, man. All them guys, but just put them there, right? Because that's all essentially sort of one thing, right? Bunch of moving parts. Even if Big L was alive, it would still be like when you say Mase, Big L, Cam, Gruff, right? Bloodshed. That's Children of the Corn, right? That's one wave. That's one era. You got the Jim, Max B, members of Bird Gang. I remember No was signed to him. NOE, he just said it that way because I don't know how you pronounce it. Not to be disrespectful, but that's a gentleman from Baltimore. And he was with members of Bird Gang. You had Chick Santana. You had Stack Bundles, right? And then you also had the French with the Riot Squad. It's like a bunch of connections and moving parts, right? And there's a lot of pieces that's not here. Stack's gone home. Chink's gone home. Rest in peace to those gentlemen. Max just did his 17 of the 75 that he ain't have to do no more, right? Frenchman on the island by himself doing his thing. Dipset been apart, right? Mason, Cam just got back together. So at the end of the day, man, for the sake of hip hop, the sake of culture, the sake of history, man. And Mano and Jim had an issue back in the day as well, but I'm glad they patched it up. So at the end of the day, as we get older as men, we move like generals. Generals, hey, yo, listen, for the greater good, for this bag, man, we finna close this chapter. Beef is over. It's all I understand where, to me, it just seemed like a bunch of words was thrown back and forth. And that's not a hell worth dying on. Disrespect or not. Like, words came on more. The other stuff didn't happen, right? So